You no longer speak. You haven't entered. Weeks or months, no calls, no texts. She does not yet even view your stories. She's still there in your ideas each and every morning to evening. You don't request her. You attempt to. But when the world becomes quiet, walk on. When her face appears, it really gets to you. It's not that you miss her, rather, you don't know why she remains there. It's louder when you two are silent. More important than anything, and it's time you realize the true meaning of it. The footage isn't limited to men who are missing someone. It is for the man who is fed up with relying on the past, for the individual who can't but doesn't even want her back. Put her out of your mind. You have informed you yourself you're alright, yet in your heart you're stranded, and nobody has ever given an explanation why. If you're ready, support this channel to cease living and begin changing. Your assistant spreads these findings to the folks most in need of them by promoting this idea. You're not simply assisting oneself, you're assisting, at last, thousands of other men. Comprehend the mental turmoil. Let's create something strong together. Why? She is impossible to forget. Let's halt acting as though it's simply heartbreak. Let's don't act like it's about her. It's not. What you're actually dealing with is uncertainty. Additionally, before you roll your eyes or stop listening to this, not too loud, kind, not the kind of person who goes about with slouched shoulders. This is the silent uncertainty, the person concealed behind your ambition, self-assurance, and I'm good mask. When she arrived, she spotted the one close, since you secretly didn't think you're worthy of her. That's why you never felt secure. For this reason, each time as she approached, you pushed or drew away. More difficult, the worst part was that she experienced it. She realized that you were making an effort to win her over. Then get in touch with her. She observed your attempt to exert influence over the result because you didn't think you could keep her around. Simply being who you are. Thus, in the end, she strolled. You're not only hurt now, either. You feel ashamed. Privately, not in public. Quietly, where it counts most. What you cannot let go of isn't limited to her. It's the injured her, leaving behind due to something is confirmed by her absence. You have attempted to disregard that, which is terrifying. You continue to feel inadequate as her presence, and who you are. It was evidence that perhaps, for once, you might be perceived as worth seeing, even if you didn't yourself in that manner. And this is the psychological reality when someone departs. Our minds don't just mourn the person, we mourn the identity we established surrounding them, the version of ourselves that we hope to be strong enough at last, enticing enough, sufficiently grounded. When it wasn't just a breakup when she departed, it was a breakdown of emotions, a subconscious. Remind yourself that you are not yet him. You can't forget her, though, because of this, since she was the greatest. But do of her exit revealed your darkest self. The uncertainty, the requirement for confirmation, the apprehension of desertion. She didn't simply shatter your heart, she dispelled the myth that you were prepared. And now, rather than confronting that fantasy you have about them, you continue to think about her in the past. Since it's simpler than facing them, she was pushed away by her insecurity in the first position. Let us be even more truthful with her. You were never completely yourself. You were a different version of yourself. Idea would maintain her interest in you, preventing vulnerability. You stayed away from uncomfortable realities. You didn't take the lead with power rather than approval. looking for, and she was able to see through it because women are more sensitive to energy than to words. She sensed the hesitancy, the inability to make decisions, and emotional brittleness, confidence behind the surface. Additionally, when women like that are aware of volatility, she doesn't always run right away. She conducts tests. She asks, she urges not to harm you, but test whether you'll get back up. And she disconnected when you didn't. It hurts so much now because of this. Due to a portion of you is aware that you didn't pass the test. You were unaware that you were taking, thus put an end to the notion that she was the one. She was the one who revealed, not, you're not the right person for yourself, yet you continue to work from lack-related fear stemming from the urge to prove, rather than having a desire to become. Need to get closure with her, you must. Conflict with oneself. The human, the mind is effective. It only clings to things that seem incomplete. If she's never far from your mind, day or night, without work, it isn't due to magic. The reason for this is your identity and manhood. You still rely on her for your confidence, verification. She is the representation of the incomplete representation of yourself, and your thoughts is pleading with you to finish it or collapse. For this reason, neglecting her fails to function, because in your heart of hearts wants to remember her. It desires to save you. You want to do more than merely move. You wish to regain the victory you lost in the combat when she left. Additionally, the only method to do that without regaining her, it's by turning into the man who would always win her initially. The individual who doesn't pursue, since he is aware that, draws in the man who remains calm, since he is aware that he is grounded. The individual, because he's too busy to not obsess, constructing something greater than any woman could provide. Thus, if she remains in your thoughts, and you're still trying to find meaning, well, which implies that your work isn't completed, that indicates what you actually lost. You have been convincing yourself that you have lost her. You keep telling the same narrative again and over. You tell your boys that when they inquire as to what transpired, that's what you, when your chest tightens throughout the night. However, that isn't accurate. The reality is considerably more uneasy. You kept her. You became someone else. Not the complete version of you, not the one who rises and departs to go to work, not the one who creates individuals, shakes hands, or laughs during meetings. You lost your potential as a man when she was present. And this is the section that the most painful. You enjoyed that rendition. He had fire, and you liked him a lot. He was hungry. He possessed a subtle sense of that something was clicking. Additionally, now that the man has left, alternatively, that's how it feels. She didn't bring you. You see, assurance, self-worth was not installed by her like a surgeon into your veins. What she did was show a different side of you, that you were at last pleased by her faith in. You were granted authorization to enter your own capabilities. Additionally, when she was in your life, you had to demonstrate that, not only to her but also to yourself, that you might fearless love, that you may take the lead without thinking too much. You may demonstrate emerging as a guy with guidance, not only distractions. And since she's no longer with you, I have no idea where the dude went. You replay discussions. You gaze at pictures. You promise to remove. You go back to instances when you're attempting to figure out at the time of the shift, when did it happen? Transition from building something to she's disappearing. Additionally, Each time you sink deeper when you come up empty. Not because her arms are missed, but because you long for the person you were when she was. Let's get even more in them. Contentious, perhaps she was never in love. You completely, she may have departed for reasons you'll never comprehend, perhaps. She even outgrown you. That is true. Occurs, however, nothing has changed. The reality that you were superior to her was a part of your life. Not because she finished you, but since you were attempting, you were changing. You had a guidance. Men have a greater desire for that, more important than any guidance momentum, a justification for surpassing their default mode, and you actually lost that, not you lost the advantage. You misplaced the urgency, you lost the clarity that comes with from thinking you're turning into strong. It's not because she took that, it aches. Help this channel by liking, subscribing, and by leaving a comment. You are assisting us.